our series of guest speakers who are all formerly homeless mothers as they tell their story of our Sharing Survival Stories Saturday. Family Promise of South Palm Beach County is pleased to bring this motivational and inspirational stories to you so that you can help overcome your own challenges and be hopeful. Family Promise is a nonprofit organization in Delray Beach that empowers homeless families to transition to sustainable independence. This series of speakers is a result of a generous grant, Be Well, Do Well grant from the Palm Health Foundation, which we say thank you. Today, our guest speaker is Vida Smith, a divorced mother of two who went from an abusive marriage by a controlling husband to now working on her Ph.D. in higher education leadership. I'll give you a brief background of Vida. Her story starts in her native Ghana, and I understand that you met your future husband, who is American, in a
Right.
long-distance relationship.
Right,
Then he went to Ghana, and you two were married there.
right.
And tell me, what was the relationship like when you arrived here, and at what point did you feel he was controlling you?
Well, thank you. So when I arrived here in the United States, actually it took me almost 2 years to be able to come here. And he used to travel back and forth. And he was like accusing me of being barren and not be able to give birth. So like he thought I'd been doing other stuff. That's why my womb wasn't, active. And so, or my fetus wasn't active. So that was the case. He started, when I arrived here, he started like accusing me, you know what you did over there, and that's why you can't give me a child. So within months, I think, let's say 3 months or 2 months, I got pregnant. Okay, so I thought he was going to be happy.
Right.
Because, you've been expecting kids. So then he told me he wasn't ready. Why couldn't you wait? So I was like, well, so this man told me he wanted kids, and now he's telling me I could have waited. So that's when things started happening.
But prior to that, when you arrived here, right, didn't he keep you in the house and you weren't really allowed to go out, do anything, meet people, correct?
Exactly. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere, have friends, even in the neighborhood. His own neighbors, mostly when he's cutting the yard, the neighbors will come around and talk. And even if someone tells me or say hi to me, when I go inside, like, it will be a blow. It will be like, why did you say hi to the person? Of course, the person said hi to me, so I wouldn't, disrespect the person. But this continued, and then it came to a point that he wouldn't even allow me to take the garbage outside because a neighbor would see me and even say hi to me or talk to me. So it was like very controlling. Don't talk to anybody. Don't talk to any neighbor. When he's mad, I'm not supposed to talk to my mom, my brothers, my sisters, and he would disconnect all the sockets of the phone and the main socket, so I wouldn't be able to. And at that time he had not bought me a cell phone. It took me years for him to buy me a cell phone because he thinks I'll be able to talk to
the outside world.
Yes. Well,
yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah.
So I was just using it. Of course, I wasn't going away. He wouldn't allow me to work. He said whatever money I'm bringing in wouldn't feed the family. He's capable of doing so
because he has a good job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was always home taking care of the house, and so I was able to use the house phone. But when he gets mad with me, then he will disconnect everything.
Yeah. And not only when he was mad, but when he left for work,
yes,
wouldn't he unplug
he
all
will
the phones and
yes,
take the stuff with him, so
yeah,
you had no way?
When he's angry or when there's something going on between us, yes, he would take everything away.
So at this point, you're pregnant with the first child. Then what happens?
When I was pregnant with the first child, okay, so it was just like accusing, why did you get pregnant? And blah blah blah, and he wouldn't even want to take me to the doctor. Sometimes I'll have to beg him to take me to the doctor. I'll make the appointment, but I have to beg him to take me. And I'll be sitting in the car and he'll be talking to his mom like I'm tired. And he didn't also want me to get my driver's license or drive in this country. And he'll be talking to his mom, and his mom was also sometimes was a part, because he'll be igniting the fire. Like, why are you taking her to the doctor when you just got home from work and you're tired? Then he would start. So I'll be sitting in the car just like, it was really difficult. So one time he told me that we need to go to the store to buy stuff, and I had made a list the day prior. And he said, we woke up and he said, didn't you said you were going to the store? And I said, because I was in the bed and my stepson had kicked my belly, and I was pregnant too. So not that the child intentionally did. Actually, anytime I'm in the bed, he will come and play with me. When he wakes up upstairs, he will come downstairs and play with me. And watch TV until we get him ready to go to school. So that's what happened. And while he was playing with his toys, he was showing me the toy, and then he kicked my belly. So my belly was really hurting. That's when I told him that I needed to go to the hospital. I needed to go see my doctor. And he was like, who is going to take you to the doctor? And I said, I really need to go and he said, I was just saying that because I just wanted to blame the little boy that he kicked my belly. I tried to explain to him that's not the case, no. And I was really hurting. I couldn't even walk. So I gradually went to the living room. While sitting in the living room, he was cutting flowers outside, and then with my stepson. So he wouldn't even let the boy stay with me inside, as if some kind of a wolf that would kill the boy. So he came back inside, and that time he left the child outside. And so I asked him, I said, where's I don't want to call the child's name because I want to protect him.
Let's call him David.
Yeah. So I said, where's David? And he was like, shut up. Are you going to go to the store now? Open your mouth again. I will kill that stupid baby in your belly and send your stupid body. I will kill that retarded baby in your belly and send your stupid body to your stupid people in Africa. And at this point, he had a knife. The knife that he was holding outside to cut whatever he was doing, he had it in his hand. And he had pointed the knife on my belly. And he said that. So he stole, and I was sitting down. So even the pain just went away at that moment. And I was praying in my head. I said, God, please, please, in my mind, because if I had opened my mouth, he would have stopped me. So I said, God, please, please, let him drop the knife. I was just looking at him. And he said, open your mouth. So with the knife like this, I said, God, please, please, if you want this baby to be a miracle baby, come on this earth and do some great work for you. Let him drop the knife. I'm tired, and if you want me to go, I'm ready to go. So he held the knife for a while and then dropped it. And he quickly took the knife with him and went outside. And at this point, he came back with David, and he was like, do you want pizza? I'm going to buy David pizza.
Meanwhile, you're still in pain, right?
I was still in pain, and he had threatened me. And I was like, so, oh my God, this is what, I mean, that day when he was going to, because my stepson, he saved my life. My stepson saved my life because he was hungry and needed to go, he was rushing him to go. He didn't cut the phones off.
Okay. So
that was when I was able to call police.
Okay.
So when I called police, they arrested him, and then they took me to AFDA. So that was the first time I left home.
So AVDA is a local organization that helps women of domestic violence. So,
thank you. So that was the first time I left home. I was at AFDA, and believe me, at that time I didn't know anybody here. So the only person I knew was his family, his sisters, mom, and brothers. So I was at AFDA, and I don't know who actually told him I was there. Anytime I was told that, he said it when I came back, that anytime I leave, he finds investigator to find where I am. So a private investigator. So when I was at AFDA, I had a call, and it was his sister, and he said, "Is it?" He mentioned they mentioned my. They called my name, and she was like, "Mama is here. Mama wants to talk to you." So I couldn't let that go because that old lady, So I said, okay, let me give it to her. And when her mom picked the phone, not knowing it was a group of family members, they planned. So the mom was begging me so hardly to come back home. And what she said was, nobody, these people are not going to take care of me. That's what they do to most people. And at the end of it, they will leave you to be homeless. And do you want to be on the road with your child? Is that what you want? And stuff like that. So I was like, no, mama, blah, blah, blah.
So you're referring to his mother as
his mom.
Okay.
Yes. And then his sister took the phone. This person took the phone. And then when I accepted, I said, okay. And then they said, someone is going to call me. When the person calls, I should tell the person that I was just joking. That it wasn't true what I told police. And I had to do it because I didn't know anybody. And those are my only family. So I did it. And then I went back home with him.
Okay, and then what happened?
When I went back home, it got worse. It was like, you put me on handcuff, I am going to make sure you go to jail.
Did you have to? Did the family make you drop the charges against him?
Yes. Somebody that they're talking about. Actually, later on, I found out, he told me, and the sister actually told me when I went back that it was the state attorney's office.
Okay.
I don't know. Probably they knew they would be calling me or something like that. So when the person, and I didn't know the procedure, I had no idea because I never lived,
Right.
This is my first time of experiencing something like this. And
well, how would you know?
I'm a foreigner too.
Yeah, you don't know. You have no family,
Exactly.
no friends, nobody to talk to.
Exactly. So at this point, I went back home, and it was like, so everything changed from, I don't want the child, you just got pregnant too early, to why did you put me in jail, or why did you make the cops handcuff me? Then I'll make sure.
So he's the victim in all
Yes,
this.
so I'll make sure you go through the same thing. So at this point, then gradually, he wouldn't take the baby because they said I had amniotic fluid. And all his mind was that the baby was going to be retarded. And my doctor didn't say that anyway. It was a possibility that the baby might come out not well. So this is all he was thinking about. And he would say he never had his family, nobody in his family is retarded or is Down syndrome or something like that. And they don't want people like that in their family. If I give birth to the baby, I shouldn't bring the baby home. I should take the baby. Anytime he gets mad, that's what he would do. So this is all, it has to be like, I have to be so submissive and just swallow all the words and just, make sure my baby comes out.
So at this point, what's going on through your head? How are you living daily with all of this? What is giving you the strength?
It was hell for me.
Yeah.
But God was my strength. When it started happening, I started, anytime I went on the computer, I started searching because I was a Methodist back home, a very big believer, and I was very much involved. So I would be searching for Methodist churches around, and I found a bishop, and I would email. I kept emailing, but I never got any answer. Yes, I never got any answer. And so it was like I was deeply thinking, because I thought that would have been my my escape.
Yeah.
But I never got an answer. Probably it was a bad email, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and my mom, even though my mom wasn't here, I would, and my mom is still, my mom passed away within this time. I would still have, dreams telling me what to do and what not to do. It was really hard, but, God was my strength and my mom.
So fast forward, you have the baby, okay, and then you had, and life is going on like this, continues as is, right? And so then you get pregnant for a second time.
Yes.
And then what happens? Tell me.
Even
about
before
that.
I got pregnant for the second time, when I had the baby, my baby I had her at West Boca Hospital. She was 2 pounds. She was very little.
2 pounds?
Yes, ma'am. She was very little. And I wasn't surprised because of what was going on. It was nothing. I wasn't, it was what was going on.
Yeah.
So she was there at the NICU for 4 months. And every 2 weeks I had to, actually, if it's a normal family, like every 3 days you'll be, every day I'll be there.
Yeah.
But this wasn't a normal family, so I'll go there every 2 weeks. And even with that 2 weeks, I have to kneel down and beg him to take me, to just go see my baby. And I had to pump breast for her. Sometimes about a month we wouldn't be there because he's mad, so he wouldn't take me. So the doctors told me and the nurses told me they would rather feed her with a formula.
Yeah.
And then
they would have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then when gradually I had my second one. So when I had my second one, now I have 2. And that was even, when I got pregnant with the second one, also it was a risk. I was high risk, so a nurse had to come to the house and give me injections once a week, every Wednesday. And he wouldn't even want to see the nurse. I don't think he even set an eye on the nurse. That wasn't his problem. That if you want children, that's your problem. I don't want them. So it was really tough. Then we had to go to, when I had not even before the second one, we went to Fort Pierce. He said he had to go visit his mom. So we went to Fort Pierce to visit my in-law at the time, his mom. And then at that time, when we were coming back, he had a gun. I didn't know he had a gun underneath the car, underneath the seat.
Under the driver's seat.
Yeah, the driver's seat. He had gone for the gun from Fort Pierce. So my baby was crying in the car. I was in the front seat, she was in the back. And so I thought she was hungry. And so I kept looking back and forth. And all I saw was a gun in my head. Pointed.
He literally got the gun and pointed it at you.
Yes. He stopped on the roadside and he told me, get out and go get your daughter. So I got out, I went in the back.
Because she was crying.
She was crying. Yeah, actually I wanted to go back there. So I went back there, I got my baby, and all I saw was a gun on my head. Because even when I got her, she was still crying. And I was frustrated, I didn't know what was going on, right? And he had this gun right here. And he was like, let her shut up before I blow your head. So I didn't know what to do. And the cars were really far apart. Like, you know how there's no traffic and stuff like that on 95 in the middle of the woods. So even when I scream, nobody will come, and it will make the thing worse. And when he said, and then he said, get out again, I thought he was going to lead me in the woods. So that I thought I was dead. We were gone. And I started praying again in my head, and said the same thing to God. You know, if God, you want this baby to, you know, stay on this earth and be a testimony to you, please. Otherwise, we are tired, please. And he dropped again, because at that time the traffic was a little slower. So he dropped the gun, and then he sped off.
He left you there?
No, we were in.
You got back in the car.
Yes.
Okay. And then, okay.
Yes. So, but I sat in the back. I didn't go back in the front. I sat in the back with my baby, so that I'll make sure that she'll be quiet and nothing will happen to us.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where that I was saved too. Then it got to a point we were just sleeping on the bed. One in the morning we woke up, and all I saw was he pulled a gun also from
the bed?
From underneath the bed. And then
a different gun, or the same gun they had in the car?
I think it's a different. He said when he was asked, he said that was a different gun.
Okay.
So he had pulled that underneath and pointed it at me. And he was like, I'll blow your head off. I had not done anything to him. It was a normal day that we were just, you know, we had finished, we had woke up from bed and, you know, just trying to get, and it was a normal day. He said, I will blow your head off. And because I can't talk, if I talk, he might probably do something. So when he does that, I would just be quiet and look at him and just pray in my head. All this went on until, if you want to know when.
How many years did this go on like this? From the time you got married, well, the time you came to the United States to now. I mean, not to now, but to the second child. How long?
So I came here in 2006.
Okay.
And in 2018 to 2008, 2006.
Okay.
Within that time, I had this baby, my first one. 2007, I had the second one. 2008, when I think one of the gun incident, I left again to after. And then,
so tell me about, how did you get to AVDA? Did you call them, or how did that happen?
Every time, you know, because I didn't even know the system. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will go through someone or the police.
Did you call the police and they called AVDA?
Yeah.
Okay.
They will always take me.
And the police would take you to AVDA?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time it wasn't after, it was there's one of the places in Lakewood. Okay. The second one.
Okay.
Was one of the places in Lakewood.
Okay.
But during that time, I met a lady. Actually, it's a long story. I don't want to go there. But this lady that was put in a room with, you know, it was 2 bedrooms and a kitchen or something like that. And so she had met someone on the street, not on the street, like they were driving. And this person was so bad to her. So she chased her. And then when she chased her, she saw that the person had an African flag, mm-hmm. or Jamaican flag in the car. And she was like, you know, rich people don't respect, because the lady was using Mercedes. Rich people don't respect. So she was, and she's white, she's very, yeah. she said, so she chased her to go and talk to her, tell her mind. But when she got there and she saw the flag, she thought it was an African flag. So I came in her mind, like my, you know, so she said, instead of approaching her, she approached her in a different way and asked her if she's African. Mm-hmm. And so the lady, she told her my story. I mean, with a lady, this nice lady or whatever she said, I said, okay, this, a place, and she's so nice, and she had this 2 babies and blah blah blah. So the lady said, okay, if you want to know.
Okay.
The last straw was this man, because he wanted to put me in jail so much. He wanted to take the kids away from me. He called. I was one of my neighbors that I had known through an incident. His mom and sisters came there and they harassed me. So through that harassment, I ran with the kids on the road. I don't know where I was going. But then something told me to branch into this house. That's all about 3 houses away from, 4 houses away from us. So I branched to.
So you've made a decision to escape. You've got your 2 daughters with you, and you're running.
I was running.
And then something told you to go towards this house.
Yes.
Okay.
So I went to that house. I told them everything that was going on, and they told me to come in. And so I went in, and they called the police. But when the police went to the house, actually we could see what was going on in my house there.
Okay.
So they were monitoring. She had kids that were monitoring the movements back and forth. So the police is actually, when we called back, they said they went to the house and they told them that they came there peacefully, and I couldn't stand them, so I left. And so I became, this lady was actually, her and her husband were touched with my story when I told them that, even that what happened that day, and they said they will help me to escape. So that was my first contact who was willing to help me escape. And so that day, the last straw, they were coming to pick me up to go to the Boynton Beach. We had gone there before and they gave us a date to come back. So they were coming to pick me up to go to the Boynton Beach police, domestic violence unit.
Yeah.
And so they had called me to get ready. I was getting ready. And between the time that they found me or we became close, they will come and pick me up. Because when this man, when he gets mad, it came to a point that he wouldn't even buy food in the house. And the cars that I have, he would take all the cars away. So the lady and the husband will come pick me up. We'll go to Costco. And then we will buy snacks and stuff for the children, and I'll have to hide them, and then give it to them when he's not around. So that day they were coming to pick me up so we can go to the Boynton Beach police, and sorry. So I went to the closet to get my stuff, and then I just took the stuff and left him in there. And he finished whatever he said he was doing to fix the light, which I knew there was nothing wrong with the light. He just wanted to cause trouble. So he finished whatever he was doing and he went out again with my stepson. So when he went out, I was there and I pum 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 pum. I heard pum 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 pum. I went to open the door. About 3 policemen, Department of Children and Family. They came and they started looking on my kids, looking on checking them out, and then they were checking the house and everything. What's going on? And then my friend, the lady, came in and she said, "Vida, do you know what? I guess you might be wondering what's going on. Myself and my husband, we said, because we saw your husband's car out there, we wanted him to leave before we can pick you up and the kids up. So my husband said he wanted something to buy, so we were going to buy something before we can pick you up. And then when we got to the entrance, we saw lots of police cars around. So we were curious. And then my husband said, I see that's the lady's Vida's husband. And so they went and approached him. And then they found out that he was bleeding. And then he told them that I cut him with a knife. So that's why they came there. If that lady and the husband were not around, or if they had not gotten there, I would have been handcuffed. So he told them that I cut him, and I'm so abusive. I am so, I think it's that psychologically I'm not there. And I have been beating the children. And so that's why they came there. So thank God that the lady and the husband were there.
Right.
And so they found out that he cut himself to get me arrested. So they told him that he shouldn't come to the house. And they asked me if I want to leave. So I told them, yes, I'm tired. And they asked me if I leave this time, do I really want to leave? And I said, yes, I want to leave. So they arranged and they told him he shouldn't come to the house. And so they told me to go get my stuff, and they took me back to After.
You and your 2 daughters.
My two daughters with with a stroller and 2 suitcases.
Okay, and then you're in Avda for ever how long, right?
I was, yes.
And were they the ones that helped you get into Adopt a Family?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Adopt a Family. So for those of you who are not familiar with Adopt a Family, it is a local organization that helps homeless families and individuals on a short-term and long-term housing.
Yes, thank you. So I went to Adopt a Family, and I met incredible individuals. I met incredible people. They helped me, they gave me a 2-bedroom home, apartment. They helped me out. Actually, I was volunteering in a nursing home behind Adopt a Family. And they told me actually when they called me in the office, and they were like, they are really touched with what I am doing for myself. And actually one of the ladies, I discussed going back to school with her, and they helped me through.
So this way, you're not working, you're volunteering.
I was volunteering.
Okay, and they recognized that you were a good volunteer, brought you and had a conversation about your future.
Yes, actually, when I was volunteering at the nursing home, they called me at the nursing home office too.
Okay.
And they told me they want to hire me. So they hired me at the nursing home.
Okay.
And at that point, Adopt a Family went, and I went shopping with them with my uniforms and stuff like that, and with Emily and one other lady. They were so incredible people. They discussed my future with me, going back to school, and they helped me through going back to Palm Beach State, and everything was perfect. Yeah.
Okay, good. And then what happened? You're an Adopt a Family, you're going to go back to school, you're working, and then what?
Yeah, so I stayed there for a while, and then, I moved, because at this point, I think I had gained, strength and stability too. So,
strength, self-esteem, confidence.
Oh my God.
Empowered.
You can go on and on and on. So, I moved out, and they helped me move out. And I was at Palm Beach State. I finished Palm Beach State College with my AA in business. I thought I was going to do business. I went to FAU. Then I changed to, with all that I've gone through, I need to do something, because I don't really understand the system. So I changed from business to criminal justice, so that I can study the system, the law, and everything, so I'll be able to help myself, not only help myself, but my kids. Because I know that with this, and others. Yeah. Because with this person that I have in my life for more than, it's going to be my whole life until one of us, leaves this earth. I need to prepare myself. Right. And I need to help other women as well.
Exactly, which is what you're doing right now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I did that. I did criminal justice. I had my BA in criminal justice. But at that time, I had a job at FAU. And so I started working little by little. And I was like, because with my kids, it would be better if I do something that is really campus-wise. Like I finish school, go back to school. I finish work and go back to school. or something like that. And the only program that I could relate to was education.
Okay.
So I enrolled in Masters in Education, and then I finished my Masters, and now I enrolled in my Ph.D. education. I'm enrolled in my Ph.D.
So if you could share if you could give advice to the mothers that are listening, what would be some of the advice that you would tell them?
Well,
Have faith.
thank you. I'm telling you, all I'll tell you, everyone, mothers out there, have faith. Keep your children close and keep God close. If you have somebody that you look up to, please keep the person close. And never forget that whatever you're going through will one day come to an end. If you keep the faith and if you work on it, never
Give up.
let anybody put you down, and don't give up.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone, and thank you for sharing your story. It's hard, I know, but very appreciated.
Thank you so much. Thank you.